Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Today, we're continuing our jumping into Judges, and we're going to be reading today from Judges 12 verses 1 through 7. That's Judges 12, 1 through 7. And it's called the destruction of jealousy. Oh boy, the destruction of jealousy. You remember in the last episodes we talked about how Jephthah was called to be a judge, and then he won the victory, but he made a bad promise to God, and we talked about that in the past episodes. So now that's behind us, and we're talking today about Jephthah and his dealing with Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim. And the tribe of Ephraim was mad because they weren't included in the battle, and so they're jealous about it. They were invited to be a part of the battle, and they didn't show up. And then after it's all over, you get the spoils and all the spoils that go with the war after you win. But then you get to say, oh, we were there and helped fight and win the victory. But they couldn't say that because they didn't show up in the first place. And now they're all mad at Jephthah. Okay, so kind of ridiculous here, but it's how jealousy can eat you up. All right, let me read here. It's Judges 12 verses 1 through 7. It says this: the Ephraimite forces were called out, and they crossed over to Zaphon. They said to Jephthah, "Why did you go to fight the Ammonites without calling us to go with you? We are going to burn your house over your head." So they're so mad about this that they weren't called out, that they're fixing to burn Jephthah's house down. Okay, it's not just like, oh, we're mad and we're never going to forgive you for that. No, they want to kill him and burn his house down. Jephthah answered, "I and my people were engaged in a great struggle with the Ammonites, and although I called you, you didn't save me out of their hands." He called them, but they didn't come. "When I saw that you wouldn't help, I took my life in my own hands and crossed over to fight the Ammonites, and the Lord gave me victory over them. Now why have you come up today to fight me?" Okay, so again, this is several times where Jephthah is trying to reason with people before he draws the sword and starts killing people. Okay, it happened earlier on in the battle, and now it's happening with his own people from his own nation. Okay, and they're coming up and they want to kill him, and he's trying to reason with them and saying, trying to explain things. And that should be our first thing that we do too, rather than let's start a fight. Let's try and reason with people first. Okay, sometimes that doesn't work, and you can see in both cases it didn't work here, but let's start with that. Okay, verse 4: Jephthah then called together the men of Gilead and fought against Ephraim. The Gileadites struck them down because the Ephraimites had said, "You Gileadites are renegades from Ephraim and Manasseh." The Gileadites captured the fords of Jordan, leaving Ephraim, and whenever a survivor of Ephraim said, "Let me cross over," the men of Gilead asked him, "Are you an Ephraimite?" He replied, "No." They said, "All right, say Shibboleth." If he said Shibboleth because he could not pronounce the word correctly, they seized him and killed him at the fords of the Jordan. 42,000 Ephraimites were killed at that time. Jephthah led Israel 6 years. Then Jephthah the Gileadite died and was buried in the town in Gilead. Going back to verses 6, where he said, where they were crossing over, the Ephraimites were escaping, and then they were there, and to make sure to differentiate the Ephraimites from the rest of the people, they would have them say Shibboleth. Okay, and the people of Ephraim had a little different accent. Okay, the other day I was at a customer's house, and I heard a woman speaking. And immediately I was like, "You're not from around here." And she was like, "Oh no, I know, I'm from Poland." And she's like, "How'd you know?" I'm like, "Well, your accent." And she's lived here for like 30 years and stuff, but still has that little bit of an accent that gives her away. And it's the same way, I'll be talking to someone, and they'll say a little something, and I'll say, "You're from the Caribbean." I'm not sure which country in the Caribbean you're from, but and then usually I can tell if it's Haiti because you have a little bit of a French accent to it, or if it's a Spanish-speaking country. Okay, so you can tell that. And that's what they were doing with the Ephraimites. They could tell by the way they spoke. And so then if you were an Ephraimite, they would kill you here. The thing was, the Ephraimites, they were doing this because of the jealousy. They saw that, you know, they didn't want to be involved with the battle at first with Jephthah, but then they saw the victory that Jephthah had, and as a result of that, then now they're coming up and they're like, oh, we wanted the victory too, why didn't you call us? And it's all out of jealousy, okay? And in the end, the jealousy brought their destruction. A bunch of them died because of that, okay? So watch out in your life where that jealousy is leading you. I mean, it can be stupid stuff like, that guy is faster on the bike than I am, or I'm running and that guy is passing me, and your jealousy is, you know, going to destroy you, okay? All kinds of stuff like that. So watch out for jealousy in your life. That's the bottom line today. All right, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I'll see you tomorrow as we continue jumping into Judges. We'll see you then. Lord's blessing to you.